I would like to say before the new crew gets on, Cacophony moves all of her stuff into either Juliana or Alviva's. No. I'm leading Alviva. Alviva's quarters.
What? Say what? Huh?
Cacophony's now your roommate.
Oh, why?
Because, as she says, I don't really want anyone else to know what I have under my costume.
Okay. And so you took a roommate?
I'm moving in with you.
Well, that explains, that solves some of the questions I was going to have about roommate assignments.
I don't get a vote here, huh?
No.
Okay.
So, we're going to do a long rest. So you guys sleep through the night. Hit points are back up to full. Spell slots are back up to full.
Okay. Boom.
And you guys are awoken the next morning by the arrival of the new crew, or the crew that they've managed to hire in the last couple of hours.
Sorry, Captain Bondar.
Which turns out to be 3 people. There's a bit of a commotion going on the upper deck, which you guys can go investigate if you so choose, or just ignore it all if you so choose.
I will promptly go up there to investigate.
Cacophony, note, busybody.
Yes.
Along with Captain Bondar and Mr. Hurst, you see 3 humanoids coming aboard the ship. One is a sort of woman in her maybe late 20s, early 30s, sort of dirty blonde hair, almost stereotypical pirate garb. There is a rather handsome-looking half-orc gentleman, who's also come aboard the ship.
Last time I'm in.
And a individual of indeterminate gender who appears to be some kind of plant creature.
Plant creature. Interesting.
Yeah, like humanoid shaped, but like bark for skin. Doesn't appear to be wearing much in the way of clothes, but there's not much for the clothes to cover anyway. Just sort of like a androgynous looking plant person.
Okay.
Good day. It's a pleasure to see you 3.
Captain Bondar turns to you and then turns to the rest of the crew and says, so this is one of the guests that I mentioned. This is Cacophony. Yeah, she's like that all the time. Don't worry about it.
What are your names?
Cacophony, this is Kara, and she points at the blonde woman, Lachlan, and she points at the half-orc, and Veli, and she points at the plant person.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you. Soon you'll likely meet Jilliana and Alviva.
And the captain continues, could you actually go and get them? We should probably explain the new hierarchy aboard the ship.
All right. And she dashes downstairs and opens her new room and leans in and goes, Alviva!
Yes?
There are new crewmates that we need to meet.
Oh. Now? All right.
Yes. The captain requested it. And then she leaves that door hanging open and moves over to Jilliana and said, knock, 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 knock. Jilliana! I think she just sighed at me, so I don't think so. Knock, 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 knock.
Juliana opens the door.
Hello!
I heard you.
All right.
Okay.
Would you like me to get you some coffee or something?
No, actually...
I'm pretty sure Finn has good coffee.
No, I'll go get something.
Yeah. Oh, all right, dear. Just take your time. Captain Bondar will understand, I think.
There's bags under her eyes. She hasn't slept.
Jill, dear.
Yeah?
Don't worry about it. I will see you up there later.
Okay.
And then she just grabs Alviva and starts hauling her upstairs.
I don't need to be hauled. I can walk under my own feet. Thank you very much.
Jill closes the door, tries to make herself slightly more presentable, shuffles over to the galley to get some tea, and then a few minutes later will shuffle up onto the deck.
Finn, by the way, has managed to stock up in the time that he's been in Port Meridian, so there's actually a decent selection of tea.
Oh, Well, that's... Mm-hmm.
So once you all are up on the top deck, the captain turns to all of you and says, all right, so Mr. Hurst is now officially first officer. You will report to him on all executive matters. Kara is our second officer and our primary helmsmaster. Lachlan is our bosun and secondary helmsmaster. Veli is the bosun's mate and will be taking care of miscellaneous tasks aboard the ship. And we are going to be taking you all back home.
Okay.
I frankly thought we'd be traveling with you for longer.
Well, we've had a request to go home.
Huh.
So we'll be stopping in. If you guys would like to continue traveling with us afterwards, that could be negotiated then alongside terms of pay and various other issues.
Sounds fabulous.
Right. So, your time is yours. It's not necessary for you to fly the ship. We now have people to do that. That said, I won't say no if you volunteer to take a shift.
I'll volunteer. I rather enjoyed flying the ship.
Okay, so Kara's going to be on the first shift flying the ship. It is around a 24-hour flight back, same as when you get out here. So, yeah, what do you guys want to do while the ship is in transit?
Well, that library's still there?
Such as it is, yes.
Yeah, I know it's not much, but that's where I think I'll spend some time.
You didn't happen to pick up a cat, did you?
A cat?
There does appear to be a cat now wandering aboard the ship.
Excellent.
Oh, what is the kitty's name?
Toolbox.
Ah.
Toolbox?
Toolbox.
That's a good cat name.
That is a good cat name.
Yeah, Kara raises a hand like, yeah, she's mine. She was born in a toolbox, so Toolbox.
It's a very appropriate name, I happen to think. Mr. Hurst?
Yeah?
You destroyed me the other day at poker. Would you like to play again?
Sure.
Excellent. And Cacophony goes with Mr. Hurst to play poker and also to hopefully learn more sign language.
Mr. Hurst will probably be playing poker with you in the wardroom. That is also where Alviva is going to poke through the books. Jilliana, what are you up to?
Jilliana's going to go back to her room.
Okay. So, we'll start with Alviva. Is there anything you're looking for in particular in the collection of books and magazines and stuff?
Well, I'm looking for something about, I guess, all the different races that might be out here. Because, you know, having been raised in a rather secluded environment, I don't have a lot of experience out here. And I've got some surprises, and I'm very curious to see what else I might find in a book about who's out here. So what kind of book would that be? Anthropology.
There's not a lot of nonfiction in terms of the books. It is mostly like trashy romance and trashy pulp, the kind of stuff you'd find in like the laundry room of an apartment building.
Huh.
There are a bunch of magazines, and flipping through those, you get to get a general sense of like the distribution of different species out here. You spot some of the penguin people like Grak. You spot some sort of anthropomorphic wolf people, some people who look kind of like dragon centaurs, a bit more of the big hippo people like Mr. Hurst. It is a menagerie.
Oh, I see that.
And there are also some normal distribution of like elves and dwarves mostly, a couple of mentions of gnomes, usually in conjunction with something that exploded.
Okay. Okay. That'll do then.
Yeah, you see a couple of references to a elven navy and elven admiralty, and that's usually mentioned in about the same context as the British Empire in like the West Indies in the late 1700s.
Okay. So that's that's what I'll work with then.
Okay. And Cacophony, are you trying to win or trying to lose?
Trying to win.
Okay. Rather
Hard
than have...
sharp that Mr. Hurst is.
Are you playing honestly or cheating?
I'm going to play honestly versus Mr. Hurst. I'm not going to cheat Mr. Hurst. Think I'm a monster? That's a chaotic good on my alignment right there.
Or stupid.
All right.
I mean, look at the size of this guy. You're going to cheat him?
Okay, so considering that poker is mostly a game of bluffing, I'm going to say roll a charisma check.
Ooh. 24!
Well, Mr. Hurst rolled a 3, so you demolish him. Are you guys playing for money?
Nah. We're playing for like bottle caps or whatever the equivalent is.
Well, you've got all the bottle caps now. Congratulations.
I won this time, she says.
Mr. Hurst is like, wow, you're really good at this.
Last time you decimated me so completely, I was certain I was going to lose again.
Do you guys want to play another round?
Nah. After one round of playing, she'll pause for a moment and glance down towards Juliana's room and kind of tilt her head back as if she's in thought for a long minute. And then she'll rise up and move back to Juliana's room and lightly knock this time. Knock, knock, knock.
Come in.
She opens the door and she steps in and she closes the door.
Juliana is seated on the floor. She has sort of a bit of a makeshift shrine. She's got her hammer elevated on just sort of on the floor, and she's got she found a couple of candles, which is weird because there probably aren't that many here.
Yeah, fire on spaceship is bad.
Yeah, they're probably not lit, but she's got them. She's seated in front of it, and she just kind of looks up and rubs her face.
Cacophony, for some reason, kind of looks up and around as if she's looking for something, and then seems to realize that no matter what happens here, whoever's currently in the chair is going to know what's going on. And so she moves to squat next to Juliana, and her normal voice drops a little bit. So it's not, oh, hello, Juliana. It drops a bit, and she goes, hey, you doing all right?
No, actually.
I didn't think so, if I'm being quite honest. What happened?
So, what's it like when you cast spells? Where does that come from?
Mine's always come from some sort of inner power, kind of an arcane acknowledgement that I am naturally magic and I'm able to draw upon that.
Imagine if that acknowledgement stopped happening, or it was so far out you couldn't even tell if it was actually happening on purpose. And also your best friend stopped talking to you.
I see.
It's a little like that. And apparently that's just how it is out here.
Well, I will say, if there's one thing I can tell about you, I imagine it's been a while since I've talked like this, I'll be honest.
This is kind of new for me too, actually.
That would be very disconcerting, and I imagine that's why we're going home, so perhaps you can draw upon that again.
Juliana kind of ducks her face a little.
I have said I needed to go home too. I need to drop off some supplies to my family. While we're there, perhaps you can speak to her, because I do think you are an influence that both Alviva and Cacophony need here.
She pauses a little. Oh, okay.
Because, and I know that is perhaps selfish, but I think also that if you can no longer hear your best friend, it doesn't mean that they're not still there.
Well, I'm not explaining this right.
You don't have to explain it right to me. It's just I'm even if you can only write your friend long distance letters, so to speak, they're still there.
How do you know?
Same way you'd know when you write a letter. Eventually you'll get a response. Probably.
Listen.
Unless they decide they hate you.
Look, it's so... And she kind of settles back a little. So I joined the convent when I was 6. I was given, and I used to get these night terrors, like really, really, really bad. I'd just wake up in the middle of the night screaming, like some kids just do that, I guess. And it'd be really bad when I joined, because you'd wake up in this room just all alone, in the dark, with nothing familiar, nobody there, and the nuns, they figured, you get stronger by learning how to work through it on your own. But then when I started communing, when my first communion happened with Ethla, and you feel her, and then afterwards it's like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're not alone. There's you just reach in and there's always someone there. It's not I get it. I guess a best friend doesn't really describe it. It's like
It's someone who's always there to take care of you.
it's like a part of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it just I got through a lot of that and a lot of things actually because I'd never be alone. And it's like you write the letter and you send it off, but you have
An instantaneous response normally.
yeah, and now it's like, well, maybe it gets lost in the post, or maybe you're just writing letters to the void, and sure, they're on the other end somewhere, but who knows if they're even hearing you, and
She settles her hand on Juliana's shoulder, and she says, well, we'll be home soon, and then you can know that she's still there. And from what happens there, it's entirely up to you, and I think up to her.
I don't know if I'm strong enough.
I happen to think, perhaps I am biased, but I happen to think you definitely are, because you have tolerated both myself and Alviva. And that takes quite a lot of strength, in my opinion. But either way, it is your choice to make in the end. But if you don't want to be here alone, I am happy to sit over to the side in a corner and not say or make a move. And be absolutely quiet. Or we can have Alviva do it too, so that way... And I know it's not the same thing. I understand that. It's not a presence. But just so that way you aren't sitting in here alone, which I think is perhaps not the healthiest response to this.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like me to sit over in the corner?
Yeah, that'd probably do for now, actually.
All right.
Thanks.
Absolutely. And she rises up and she moves to just kind of kneel in the corner like when she's doing her meditations. And then just kind of sits back and closes her eyes. Maybe she did fall asleep, who knows? But she's there.
The rest of the trip passes without incident. You get a little bit of a sense of who the new crew is. Lachlan is a very nice, if awkward guy. You can tell he's a little socially shy. Kara is... it's hard to tell if Kara's just is pissed off at you all the time or if she's just like that.
Cacophony doesn't know the difference.
And Veli is rather gregarious, but keeps saying weird stuff right to your face and then walking away, so you're not quite sure what to make of them yet.
I approve of Veli.
Okay, and also there's Toolbox, the new ship cat.
What kind of cat is Toolbox?
Yeah.
What kind of cat is Tesla?
Well, he's a cat. It's one of those things like they're like, what breed is your cat? He's a cat. He's from a shelter. He's gray and black striped with white tummy.
Yeah, audience, you're doing this as a solution for when Tesla decides to sing the song of his people while we record. And sometimes Pam as well.
And sometimes Maury.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cacophony, you took a shift flying the ship, so I need you to drain one of your highest level spell slots for me.
You got it.
And within 24 hours, you guys are once again in orbit of your homeworld.
Wow, that was fast.
Well, it was 24 hours out and 24 hours back.
We just got waylaid by some whales and whalers on the way too.
Yeah, it felt longer the first time because I wanted it to. And now we're doing a montage because this is not the important part of the story.
No, I demand everything pass in real time.
It's the worst podcast of all time.
Just dead silence for hours at a time when we're all in separate rooms doing nothing.
Yep. Yeah, no, you can just play that like 48 hours of ambient Star Trek bridge sounds.
All right, so you guys enter the atmosphere, which is a new experience for you guys. You've never been on a Spelljammer that enters Atmo before. It gets kind of hot.
Ah,
You can see heat build up on the ship as it's coming down, but very clearly Lachlan, who's piloting right now, has done this plenty of times before and knows how to get a ship into atmosphere without it, exploding.
That's good.
And as you guys are approaching Stormhaven, it is right on the cusp of night, way too late and way too early. Is that point of day where the world doesn't really exist yet, the geometry hasn't loaded in properly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And who's up on the deck right now?
well, is it third shift? Is my shift the third shift?
Your shift would have been the second shift.
Okay. I am probably roaming around, but probably not on deck.
Jill's up on deck.
Okay. Is Alviva up on deck?
Yep, I am.
All right. I need both of you to roll perception checks.
I wouldn't want to miss this, never having seen it before.
12. Preoccupied.
Perception.
Aviva and Juliana are equally distracted.
Look, there's a lot of fire.
Well, funny you should say that, because as you guys are approaching your home, the city of Stormhaven, you see smoke rising from various points around the city.
What?
What?
And the captain, who's up on deck with you, points down towards the harbor, and you can see two unfamiliar ships docked there. And she says, "Oh, those aren't land ships. Those aren't groundling ships."
What? Oh God, one of them's not a spider, is it?
No, they're both galleons, and in fact, looking at them, you would not be able to tell that these are not groundling ships. But the captain obviously recognizes these things a little more keenly than you guys do.
What are they?
Those are two galleons. Those are, oh God, state of the sails. I'd say they're ghost ships.
Wait.
I think your city's under attack.
What?
We come home to this?
Yeah, Captain Bondar starts shouting an alarm, and you see Mr. Hurst rush up onto the deck.
Cacophony then rushes up on the deck.
Cacophony, you see the aforementioned, now that everyone's pouring it out, you see the aforementioned smoke and unfamiliar ships in the harbor.
Ah, she says. I haven't described my outfit today, guys.
Oh God, not now!
You can describe it when we get off the boat.
I can wait until we get off the boat.
It will be very dramatic. You can
Okay.
start from you planting your feet on the earth again.
Sounds good.
Speaking of which, the captain and Mr. Hurst appear to be debating something. The captain's saying, "Now, if we land outside the city, that means we might face less resistance on the way in." And Mr. Hurst is saying, "That'll take too long. We should land at the harbor and, fight our way through to the center."
Land at the harbor.
Do we get a vote?
Yeah, you guys do.
Shit.
That was Cacophony's vote. Land at the harbor.
Yeah, but there's also only 3 of us, and you almost died to a carpet.
That is very true, but I would prefer we land at the harbor and are able to start helping immediately than show up and more people be dead.
Can we see if there are any groups of if it looks like there's any refugees or anything anywhere, like any movement in the forest?
Make another perception check. Everyone who wants to be looking for this, make a perception check.
Yes, that's a good idea.
20.
9.
Not natural 20, but a 20 nonetheless.
A dirty 20.
I will say that Cacophony's in a little bit of a panic, and she too is scanning the forest rather intently for some reason, but doesn't see anything and seems to decide things are fine.
Yeah, Alviva, do you want to get in on this check?
I looked 9.
Do I want to know if there's anybody in the trees? Is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, do you want to see if there's anybody fleeing the city?
I'm all for landing in the harbor and just going at it.
Okay. Juliana, you can see people are fleeing the city in small straggling groups. Beyond that, at this distance, you can't tell much.
Okay. How's the Church of Ethel look?
There's a lot of smoke coming from that part of town.
Fuck. Because if there's going to be anybody holed up and trying to actually survive, the church is going to be one of the major points to do so.
Yeah.
Juliana's focus is definitely saving people and helping injured as much as she can.
Okay. So we have 2 votes for harbor.
I'm still in harbor, yeah.
What's the fastest way to get to the church?
The harbor.
Okay.
Okay, so Lachlan pilots the Kestrel down into the harbor. As you can recall, the ship is made of wood, and the underbelly of it is boat-shaped. This thing can make water landings and land landings with its little feeties, but you're making a water landing. So as you are approaching the docks, you spot a fairly large number of humanoid figures, but as you get closer, you notice that they have draconic features. They have dragon heads and tails. They have wings.
Ooh.
And they
Ooh.
also, judging from the smell, they aren't entirely alive.
Oh,
So
never mind.
they're
2 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess.
so I mean, are they are they dragonborn or
They don't quite
Not.
look dragonborn. They look slightly wrong. They
okay?
don't, they don't look
cool.
natural. And we're gonna go to the fancy battle map I made now. So yeah, are you guys just going? You guys landing at the dock? Are you guys just gonna like bum rush out or what? They know you're here. They saw the ship land.
Yeah, I don't see the point of trying to faff around whenever they know we're here.
Yeah, we can't. No point in being discreet at this point. But we got to rush out. We got to find somebody in charge, right?
Well, hold on. Can we at least cast a couple buff spells first? I'm going to try to cast Enhance Ability on Alviva and give her Cat's Grace.
Cat's Grace? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the effect on that?
That is advantage on dex checks. Don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if it isn't incapacitated.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Dex is your major thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what do I do? Just stand here and get spelled?
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You can stand there and get spelled. So yeah, Alviva has Cat's Grace on her. Actually, before that happens, I need you to roll a Wisdom saving throw.
Right. 10. Here we go.
Oops. That did not
Yeah.
meet the DC. So
Okay.
the spell fizzles.
Aw, I don't get it.
You reach for the divine well of power that you've always been able to rely on, and that doubt hits you again, and you fumble it, and you lose the spell.
So, let's say it manifests like her hand starts sort of glowing with this sort of light, and then that light just kind of fizzles out as she's reaching in. So for the touch, Juliana kind of like stares at her hand, swallows, and turns it into kind of just like an attaboy pat.
And with that, I need everybody to roll initiative.
Initiative.
And that burns that spell slot, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I got a 20.
That's an 11
Oh, that's not good.
for us.
Nothing. It's fine.
Okay.
Alviva, by the way, you have advantage on your
Nice.
initiative roll, which
Oh.
I think is already built in. It's already built in. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
good, because okay.
Okay, I think that's everybody. Up first is the row of archers on the far side of the dock, which I'll take one look at you and decide to open fire.
Okay.
So right now, the biggest, most threatening target is Mr. Hurst up in the front. So they're going to all focus fire on him.
Poor Mr. Hurst.
Poor Mr. Hurst. The first one is an 18.
Oh.
Yeah, ouchies. Second is a 21. Ouchies.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
having a bad day.
So he's got two arrows sticking out of him?
Yeah, 2, because the third one did miss.
Ah.
So Mr. Hurst doesn't take a tremendous amount of damage from that. He is very big and very beefy. So he's got 2 arrows sticking out of him, but that does not appear to have slowed him down very much
Thick-skinned.
as he bum rushes his way off the ramp. Up next is Cacophony.
Cacophony, the first thing she does is she, first I should reveal my outfit.
Oh, God.
And basically, I look like the Hamburglar.
What?
What?
I look like the Hamburglar. I'm wearing a very tight, like, bodycon black and white striped dress, very tall, thigh-high black and white striped socks. I've got magnificent heels on, and I've got, like, my capelet today has somehow become, like, black with, like, a gold underlining, and I'm wearing a red tie with it.
Why?
The Hamburglar. I felt like it.
You what?
You're wearing a sexy Hamburglar costume.
A sexy Hamburglar costume.
Do you have the hat?
Yeah, I've got the little hat. It's jauntily pulled on the side of my hair. And my hair today is it's still like it's that deep blue, but I've made sure that it's kind of like curled around me and flowing with my
So-
capelet.
Any domino mask?
No domino mask today, but my eyes are pitch black.
Okay, so talk about making yourself a target.
Yeah.
Oh God, this
So
is literally
you're a
a sexy
Hamburglar.
Hamburglar costume.
It is a
Mackenzie,
sexy hamburger costume. You're welcome.
So you're a Hamburglar who's bad at disguises.
Yes.
This is a Halloween costume.
Yes, it is.
Well, she got it discounted.
So
Halloween's over.
I got discounts. Yeah, exactly.
Sexy
Vicky
Dream
gets
Girl
me.
Leg Avenue. Are you fighting those heels? Respect.
I fight in those heels.
Well, I'm glad she's going first then.
Yeah, so I flick my black and gold cape. How did my cape go from red to black and gold? Who knows? But I flick it, and as I do, glitter spreads out over all of us. So we all start sparkling and glimmering. And as that happens, we can everybody gets 5 temporary HP.
Yay.
So that means like everybody on our side, and everybody can take a move action they want, and you do not provoke attacks of opportunity in case we all want to get into like flanking positions or something.
Okay. Are we supposed to do something?
You can move.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
can move up to your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity. So Mr. Hurst is going to charge right up to the front line here.
Oh, okay, I'll get behind this one instead then. So that way I can flank with Mr. Hurst. And if you'd like to use your 2 swords, Alviva, I would recommend doing that as well.
Oh, yeah, because you can move up, like, even though it's not your turn right now.
Yeah, so that way you could get your 2 swords ready, and me and you could get prepared for getting advantage on all of our
Okay.
attacks. So
Alana is going to run aboard a nearby ship and get some cover behind one of the decks so she can fire from relative safety.
Actually, let's just make this a whole frickin' party.
yeah.
Jilliana charges the front line. Alviva, you can hang back or you can charge the front line.
Because if you charge the front line and get on the other side of this dude, then, like, so all 4 of us, the surrounding guys, we can just keep giving each other advantage.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I have my breastplate that I'm thinking I should put on with all these arrows flying around. Can I do that?
Yeah, you.
I imagine
did.
you already put
You've
it
got
on.
that on by
Yeah.
default.
Right,
Unless you tell me that you're
Yeah.
not wearing it, I will assume that you have
okay,
it.
got it. All right then. Just want to make sure.
Okay, and Cacophony, is that your turn?
And then I'm going to stab with my rapier.
Of course. Which one?
The guy in front between me and Mr. Hurst.
Okay. Yeah, this is a...
Oh, whoops, that was with disadvantage on accident, but it's 19 plus 7, so 26.
Yeah, 26 will hit. I did want to do like a DM thing where I describe what
Oh,
the monster
sorry.
looks like.
Sorry. I hit the button without
Hey,
paying
cool
attention.
your roll, Hamburglar.
Okay, so this one appears to have like tarnished, dirty copper scales and seems to have a rather lithe acrobatic build.
Yep.
You stab it, but good. Could you roll damage?
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh,
Oh,
wait
what?
a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. This is a bad idea. Oh, Annie the player knows some things.
This doesn't sound good.
Let me just double check a thing.
Oh, that's how we're doing this shit, Kit? Oh, you even said it, and I didn't. Oh, you even said it. And I didn't think to just start looking things up. And I know I shouldn't because player. Oh, fuck.
I wish I knew what was going on.
Oh, about to have some fun times and some bad times.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I can't say anything.
Cacophony, what's going on? Yeah?
I don't know. Don't look at me.
Oh, no. This is all out of character.
Yeah, I can't mix character knowledge with player
Yeah.
knowledge.
Is that why I'm confused?
Yeah. And yes. And right now I have to mind my own character knowledge.
Cacophony, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay, up next is Alviva.
Didn't didn't Cacophony take out one of these archers?
No, I stabbed one, but he is not dead.
Oh,
yet.
These are not the archers. These are the sort of bigger but lither ones on the front line that have swords.
Oh, the swords. Okay. All right then. She's wounded him.
If you attack this guy just to the north of you, you will get advantage on the roll.
Well, yeah, since he's already wounded, I think we'll start with him first before I turn any attention to the guy to the other side.
Cool.
15.
15 will hit. Let me just double check, actually. 15 does not hit.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. I do have a second sword, and again with advantage. And the second one, 18.
18 does hit. So that is 10 slashing damage, which is enough to kill it dead.
Okay, that guy's gone.
Although
Uh-oh.
I have to do a thing.
Oh, here comes the thing.
It's a different thing.
Thing?
It's a different thing than...
There's going to be a lot of things today, aren't there?
Okay, so it rolled a 1 on the thing it did first. So it does die. However, it immediately dissolves into a pool of acid.
Oh.
Ooh.
Right in the middle of us.
Yeah.
We're on a wood dock.
This can't be good.
Yeah, so we'll get into that later, but right now, yeah, everyone within let me draw a shape here.
So we have a hole in the dock, and we're all surrounding this hole.
Yeah, so there's the pool of acid. So anyone who starts their turn in that is not going to have a good day.
All of us. Wow. Who knew?
It's almost like I'm cheating. But yeah, Alviva also, because you have Hordebreaker, you can attack the guy next to you.
The one basically in front of me now.
So yeah, you can attack the guy next to you as a free action.
Okay, so here we go again with my short sword.
Yeah, and this is also with advantage because he has not acted yet.
Alrighty. 13.
13 does not hit.
Oh, I'm gonna get it with the second one then.
Oh, you don't get the second one. It's just one free attack.
Oh, does not hit. Okay, so I've annoyed him.
You've annoyed him, but good job. Also, there's a pool of acid. So up next, up next is Jilliana. Jilliana immediately takes Jilliana immediately takes 8 points of damage, acid damage.
Ow.
Okay, there go those temps. And 1, 2, 3. Oh,
You might want to move out of the pool of acid.
yeah, I'm thinking that. Yeah, I'm gonna do a 5-foot adjust and get over to the other side of this creature. And I am going to hit it with my warhammer.
Okay, so this is the one of the two remaining sort of copper colored ones.
Yeah, one of the copper ones. Let's go back. Oh, right, and that was with. Sorry, I forgot. Since we're flanking, that's with advantage. So let me just roll that one more again. Okay, that's a 21.
21 will hit. Roll damage.
9 bludgeoning damage.
Ouchies.
Well, at least that one still works.
Yeah, the warhammer still works apparently.
That's nice. It's complicated considering.
And is there anything you want to do with a bonus action?
Well, I'm the only one that's got hit with acid so far, and I'm okay. So, yeah, that's going to be my turn then.
Okay. Up next is the captain. The captain is casting about and is going to start taking pot shots at the archers because they just filled her friend with arrows. So that is a 24. That's going to hit. And that is 11 piercing damage to one of the sort of brass-colored archers up on the dock. And that is, I believe, her turn. Let me just double check. Yep, that's it. Okay. So up next is Mr. Hurst, who starts his turn in a pool of acid.
So the one where they got attacked with the warhammer, he's still standing?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Mr. Hurst takes exactly 1 point of damage from the acid.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
Sure.
Ooh, ow.
Well, he is bigger.
And seeing as he took 1 point of damage and has no reason to believe that it will actually continue to hurt him in any way, he's just going to kind of stay in the acid as he charges the guy that is right next to Jilliana and Cacophony. Splish, splash, splish through the acid, which is eating through the dock a little bit.
I would have thought it'd eat through the dock a lot.
Yeah, and he is going to headbutt the guy next to Jilliana and Cacophony. And miss. He's doing a very good job, you guys.
He's our big friend. Don't you dare say anything
Yeah.
mean about him.
I'm not going to say anything mean about him. He did miss, though.
He's our big friend.
He did super miss. And that's his turn. Hang on a second. Where did the frickin'... Hang on. The frickin' copper-colored thingamabobs disappeared from the turn tracker, so they didn't get their turn. So they're going to go now.
Oh, that's okay. They don't have to.
They do kinda, though. Alviva, the one next to you, is going to first lick its sword, and you can see sort of this like gooey green spit from its mouth sort of drip onto the sword itself.
Ew.
And then it's going to attack you with the sword, which is a 19, which hits. You take 7 slashing damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
You're fine. You feel sort of the poison seep in through the cut, and you feel your muscles start to lock up a little bit, but you manage to resist the effects.
Cool.
And then the one currently being surrounded and wailed on is going to look around. Since Giuliano was the only one that landed a successful hit on it, it's going to go for you.
Okay.
And this one's not going to bother licking the sword. It's just going to attack first with the sword itself and roll a 7. So that's not going to hit. And then it's going to come at you with its teeth.
Gross.
And just try to bite you. That rolled a 24. So that is 5
Wow.
piercing damage to you.
Yep.
And I need you to make a constitution saving throw.
Cool. Nat 20.
You shrug this venom off, no problem. You're fine.
Do I give it an imperious glare?
Oh, yeah, you do. With a nat 20, you get an imperious glare. And right up at the top of the turn order, we've got the archers again. The one that just got shot real hard by the captain is going to try and shoot at her and roll a 7. So that's a no. The other two, one is going to fire at Mr. Hurst, and the other one is going to fire at Jill. So the shot at Mr. Hurst is a nat 2. That's not going to do it. And the shot at Jillian is a nat 3. So that's not going to do it. You guys are fine. Up next is Cacophony.
First things Cacophony's going to do is she's going to stab north at the one that's on between her and Jilliana.
Okay.
And
so
I take damage too from acid.
yeah, you do. You start your turn. You take 5 acid damage.
Okay, that gets rid of my temporary HP. And then I shank with my rapier. I didn't roll advantage, but let's just see, I guess, if I got but yeah, 22.
Okay, that'll hit. Roll damage.
13.
Okay, that is that is
No.
enough to theoretically kill it, but let's do a thing.
Let's see if it explodes.
Well,
No.
there's actually a couple of things it's got to do.
Oh, okay.
So first off, you stab it, and it looks like it's about to die, and then sort of the unholy light in its eyes comes right back, and it surges back to life. Admittedly heavily wounded, but still alive.
Oh, excellent.
This thing, you should have killed it, but it's still alive because it's gross and zombie-like.
That's fine. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flutter my cape again. So this is another Bardic Inspiration movement thing. We all regain those 5 temporary HP if you lost them, or if you've still got them, they stick around. Let me see how far I can reach here. Where's my... So I can also do Captain Bondar if she wants to move again. So everybody can take a move action. There will be no attacks of opportunity or anything if you choose to move. My big suggestion with moving is perhaps our good friend Mr. Hurst and our good friend Alviva would like to move.
Out of the acid specifically.
Out of
is
the
what you're
acid
saying.
specifically, yes.
I'd like to move out of the acid, absolutely right. I can't get past this guy, though. I have to go backwards, don't I?
You could actually move to, I think you could probably squeeze on the side or come around where I just moved from.
Yeah, you can dodge around him. Yeah, end up behind him.
Yeah.
Mr. Hurst is, again, he has no reason to believe the acid is going to continue to do significant damage to him, so he's going to position himself right between the 2 remaining copper-colored zombie things.
Oh, Mr. Hurst.
Listen, he plays to the top of his intelligence. Cacophony, by the way, you are currently, while you are technically, according to the top-down view, next to these archers, you are actually about 5 feet below them.
I figured, yeah.
So if you want to get up and attack them, you'll either have to parkour your way up the rail or take the stairs that are nearby.
I am a queen of parkour.
JEMJAMMER is performed by Kit Walker, Annie Creighton, Mackenzie Weaver, and Vicky Sharon, and edited by Jake Mason. Our character art was concepted and illustrated by Rio, who can be found at vriosart.tumblr.com. Our cover art was illustrated by Canary Witch, who can be found at doodlesfromthebird.tumblr.com. Our opening and closing music was composed by Reckoning Storm AudioWorks. You can find us on Tumblr at crookedrussiancam.tumblr.com and on Twitter at JemJamCast. If you enjoy JemJammer and want to support both this show and other projects, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thejemjam.
Okay.
I should get my cacophony voice on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I should actually,
You're getting more taco with time.
I am. Taco time.
Oh, God.
Ah. 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 Ah.